How you folks all doing? Here we're done here with your Mundus Minute on the eve before the eve of Christmas, aka December 23rd, 2022. ESO news, lecture merchant, and golden merchant stuff, all in a few minutes. First up in the news. Well, the ESO developer deep dive is up on the main site and on the forums, so you can discuss it with the developers and how you feel about some of the changes. But if you've ever wondered about why ZOS makes some of the changes that they do, this kind of goes over it in their combat core values. It's not really a deep dive. It's more just guidelines about why they make certain changes. This includes things of play as you want, which is an old mantra that we've heard since the beginning of the game's launch. Active combat, mastery, and Elder Scrolls inspired skills. So that's kind of the mantra they've been going with. If you agree with it or you don't agree with it, go take a look. Discuss it on the forums, give your opinion back if they've met that or they've really missed the mark. Have a little bit more insight. Now, on to a few other things. With the holidays, happy holidays. Get a free pet now on us in the Crown Store. Yes, if you haven't already taken a look and logged on to ESO, take a look in the Crown Store. There's a little green wisp mote that is currently free. That's for everyone. Just log in, access the Crown Store, get it for free. It's $0. That is going to be up until January 4th. Also, there's a holiday sale going on right now for High Isle and Crown packs. This will be going on until it doesn't say, but my guess is probably January 4th. What's it down below? It's actually January 2nd for Xbox, January 6th for PlayStation. On the Elder Scrolls Online store, January 4th. I was right on something at least. And on the Steam store until January 4th. So go now, get those deals, and enjoy. The Crown packs, you're going to get at least 40% off, 35% off, 30% off, 25% off, and 20% off now. And finally, if you missed it, they did a ESO Christmas Carol. I'll leave a link down below where you can take a look at it. It was on the twitch.tv/Bethesda channel, and it was hosted by the Guild Vanquish. They've done this every year, and they've actually done a pretty good job doing the sets and everything else like that. I might try to find the Twitch VOD and link it down below, but otherwise, I'll just link up the main thing here so you can take a look at it, and Vanquish will get it up on their YouTube channel eventually as well. Now, let's take a look at the Luxury Merchant and the Golden Merchant for this week, shall we? So, tentacles. Everyone likes tentacles, right? Actually, this is more Cragler and stuff here. So there's a Nedic skull relief, half. I think they intended this to be doors, but honestly, it feels like you're getting half a relief, and you gotta pay twice to get the full one. It is kind of cool though. A Reach Bull, Nurncrux. Nurncrux Grinder. Grinding Stones for Nurncrux. Tentacles. Bloodroot Sprout. Bloodroot Tendril. Vines. Rickling Stone Totem Skull. And then finally, a Stone Nurncrux Laden. So those are all on sale this week on Luxury Merchant. Now, on the Golden Merchant this week. For 150k, Ring of the Wilder Queen. Your bow abilities reduce the movement speed of your enemies you hit by 15%, increases your movement speed by 15% for 3 seconds. Probably would skip this. Honestly, this is really weird, and this is one of the issues they do have with some of the changes they make. The whole snare system is kind of moot, given the fact that you have abilities inside the bow line that snare and do better snares than this. This is going to be overwritten pretty easy. The only thing that has real benefit and that's going to stack is going to be this movement speed here. And honestly, probably go with Fjord's Ring, which will give you better sprint movement and also make your sprint cheaper too. For 150k, you can also get Undertaker's Ring. When you deal damage, you apply minor lifesteal to enemies for 8 seconds, healing you and your allies for 606 health every 1 second when damaging them. This is an interesting set. I think this is a good new player type of set you can get out of elsewhere. I would probably not recommend getting out the Golden Merchant though. For 250k, Ulfner's Favor Wing with his 5-piece bonus. When increases magicka or stamina, your heavy attacks restore by 30%. If the recovery was that big of a deal in this meta, I'd say maybe take it, but honestly, just skip it. It's not that worth it right now. If you want to get this set, you have to run Fangler though, so maybe if you just want to get it for the DLC stuff. Then also for 250k, Ring and Nexus Touch adds 400 weapon damage and spell damage to your shock damage abilities. Honestly, there's sets out there that can give well over 400 and do better with less without just being shock damage. So I say skip this. I believe you can also get this out of what is that dungeon? Fungal Grotto. So it should be a pretty easy set to get if you ever wanted to grind it. But yeah, for 250k out of for a golden version of this, definitely not worth it to me. Then for 100k, you can also get Iceheart's Vestige, which when you deal critical damage, you have 20% chance to gain a damage shield, which will absorb 4,825 damage for 6 seconds. While the damage shield holds, you also deal 1,198 frost damage to all enemies in 5 meters of you every 1 second. If that can occur once every 6 seconds, it scales off your weapon or spell damage. So this is actually an interesting set. Before things like Ring of the Pale Order came out, this was one of the ways that you finished up VMA. It still can be useful in certain builds, but I think most people just get it for the 1-piece bonus here. So do you really want to do it? I mean, the dungeon it comes out of is pretty easy to run as well, so probably skip unless you're just die hard, don't ever go into a dungeon type. Don't go into the dungeon type of person. Then also for 100k, Sentinel of Rickamzaw's Guise, which when you heal yourself or an ally, a Dormant Spider will spawn, which will give you 975 health and restore 121 magicka or stamina to you and your allies in 5 meters every 1 second for 8 seconds. That can occur once every 15 seconds. A good resource generating set for healers. Probably more useful for trials builds, but the dungeon this comes out of, again, a really easy run, so I'd probably skip that and just run Fungal Grotto a few times. Sorry, Fungal Grotto 1 a few times and pick this up. Anyway, I'm here, done. That's the Mundus Minute. The on Tamriel. Meow, meow. Also, a reminder, we're on the YouTubes, Twitters, and Twitches at Hero of None. Also, expect having a small bit of a format change here come next year. Anyway, enough hinting on some of the changes there. I'll see you a little bit later.